Kathy Foy and Alethea Train. We are beyond measure blessed, aren't we? And speaking of blessed, we're in for a treat today. Our speaker is the president and founder of the Life Enhancement Institute of the Pacific. He is a recognized cultural resource, having been mentored and trained by respected Hawaiian kupunas. He is a practitioner and an instructor of many native Hawaiian practices, including ho'oponopono. Please join me in welcoming our friend, our brother, Kumu Ramsay Taum.
Mahalo, Levitt. Reverend Gary, thank you so much for welcoming me back. A special thanks to Reverend Jack, who is off traveling, for inviting me to come and share some mana'o with you today. So we ask that we keep him in our prayers as well, and he has safe travels. So thank you all, and it's good to see you all again. You know, that song, Ave Maria, reminds me that in Hawaiian we have a word that says awe, but it tends to focus on something negative. But awe, that was great, wasn't it? How about another hand for Kathy? Chicken skin, great stuff. When Reverend Jack asked me to come and speak again or to share some thoughts with you, I really had to think about it and say, well, what is it that we can speak about? What is it that I can add to what I think he has already done a wonderful job in the last year since I've been here? I think that was about a year ago that I was here in November. Don't you think it's been a great year since then? Hasn't it been great? Yeah. So I had to ask myself, what can I add and contribute to all of the wonderful work and messages he's been sharing with you? And so I really had to pray on it. And I realized that before I could get really clear answers, I had to do some cleansing first. I really had to let go, got to get out of my way. And so I'd like to start our journey together this morning to do that as well. For those of you that know me and have spent some time with me in sharing like this, you know that we just don't ask for blessing. We don't want to bless the mess, you know. So what we want to do is we want to cleanse first. In Hawaiian, that cleansing is called ho'oponopono, to make right. And that's not just to fix things as much as it is to make things right. So with that in mind, please allow me, in the spirit of ho'oponopono, to make right. First, by asking you and your ancestors to forgive me and my ancestors for anything that we may have done in word, deed, or action, inaction, intentionally or unintentionally, that has created a condition in your life and the lives of your ancestors, in your family, in your communities, that has created heva, huki, tension, and eha, and pain for you. So much so that you had to come here to listen to me. Please forgive me and my ancestors. In that same spirit of ho'oponopono, my ancestors and I extend the same forgiveness to you and your ancestors for anything that you may have done intentionally or unintentionally, guided or misguided, word, deed, or action or inaction, that has created the challenges, the heva, the huki, the fear, the anxiety, that has created the pilikia in our families and in our places. We let that go and forgive you and your ancestors. It's in that letting go between us of giving and receiving of forgiveness, we can be pono. We can begin to unify again, to make right. And so I ask each of you now to go within, just for a moment, and to identify and locate that thought, that memory, that emotion or feeling that you may be holding on to right now, that is seated in anger, fear, or anxiety, and that you ask for forgiveness or to extend it to that person, whether they're on the planet or not. Take a moment to ho'oponopono, to let go, to make right, to clean house. Mahalo. E ho'oluka no ke kino a me ka ohane. E ma'alama pono, kamanao, ke ola, ke kino, I ka manawa a pauloha. Aloha, aloha ano ai ka ko, e velina mai nei. Aloha. Mahalo. You know, in those words, we share this concept of unifying mind, body, and spirit. Aumakua, uhane, and unihipili. The three selves, the three minds, that when they come together, we say, we are pono. You are mindful. When we're in dis-ease, disorder, or disconnected, and one of those minds might be running around, we are mindless. We are out of our minds. And it is the process of Ho'oponopono, of reuniting those minds. The next part says, to malamapono, through time, to nurture, care for that unification of those three minds for all time. Not just while we're here, but when we leave. Not just within, but with one another. Yeah. So, ikamanava pauloa, aloha. So in this pule, after doing the cleansing, I asked, what statement, what thought can we think? And this term floated into my head. Ho'o maluhia. To make peace, peacemaking. And I understood clearly that to make peace is an inside job. And today we'll be talking about that. Why is it an inside job? But more importantly, why this ho'o maluhia? Why is this making peace so important at this time of year? And I don't know about you, but it seems there isn't a news program, a radio show, a paper, or anything that I pick up these days where the news is, somebody's fighting somebody, somebody's shooting somebody. You know, the fear, the anxiety, somebody's fighting somebody, we got to go to war. Anything but peace. And so as we begin to prepare for a new year, a new time, a new season, 2016, I thought it might be a good idea that we start focusing on making peace instead of the other. Yeah. Ho'omaluhia, the process of making peace. And so the other part of this is that it just happens to be the season for that. Not just as Christmas season, but in Hawaii, this special place that we live in, where it's about the air, the water, and the spirit, the ha, the vai, and the e. When we combine those things, that's where life happens. As Reverend Gary is telling us, the focus of life, ola. That's where we are, in this place of air, water, and spirit, Hawaii. And so I turned to my kupuna, our elders, because the elders and the kupuna that came before us here in the islands, they subscribe to the idea when things aren't looking so good, when things look down, look up. And there really wasn't anything, any practice or behavior that we did in the islands that wasn't guided by looking up, either to the moon, the stars, or to the sun, or even to our kupuna. In fact, you know, I'm told that when you look at the stars are a million light years away. Some are ancient stars. So actually, when we look to the stars, we're looking to our ancestors. We're looking to history to guide us into the future. What a powerful thought. We're looking into the past in order to understand the future. The combination of those two is right there, us in the middle, acknowledging that we connect the past and the future. So by looking up into the heavens and the skies, our kupuna created a calendar, a lunar calendar. And this is the time, the season of Makahiki. Ever say Makahiki? Yeah, Makahiki, the time when we put the weapons away, we put the tools away, we bring out the toys, we come to play. We come to sing, we come to meditate, we come to reflect and take a moment to be grateful for what we had this last year and prepare for the coming year. The joy of that now in Makahiki. And what announces Makahiki to us, when we know that we're entering the seasons, is when the eyes appear. What eyes? The little eyes. They're called makali'i. Makali'i. The seven sisters, the Pleiades, when they rise over the western horizon and they make themselves known, they look at us, we look at them and says, we're back. Here we are, Makali. And so the season begins and it runs roughly 3 to 4 months and sometimes longer because the contemporary calendars are artificial time. And they don't necessarily lock up with natural time. Yeah. And sometimes there is a discourse, or a discord, I should say, a disconnect between our behavior of artificial time and natural time. And so it's important for us to get into sync. So this time is also the season of peace and of peacemaking for the people of this place. It's a time to come in when it's raining, when it's windy, when it's cold. Yeah. The time of Makahiki. Now, if you looked up in the skies last night, you may have seen this image. Did anyone see that? Anyone take a look at the moon last night? Another beautiful experience. Well, this moon is called Hilo. And between the moon of Hilo and Muku, the month, the new moon to the no moon, Muku. And we've now entered the month of Kaelo, the fourth month of Makahiki, and the transition from Makali'i into Kaelo. And last night was the new moon. That's what we got to see. The announcement. And as I looked at the moon, I contemplated some of the messages that were shared with you all last week by Reverend Jack. Talk about this notion of divine expectation. Divine expectation. And as I looked at that silver lining in the moon, or gold as it was last night, it reminded me that that expectation. Because as we see that sliver, it reminds us that even in the darkness, the darkest times, the darkest hours, there is hope. There is something coming, and we can look forward to it in anticipation of the fullness of the moon just several nights later. And so this message to us of Hilo, the new moon, the beginning of Kaelo. Now, it's important to understand these months and why we have acknowledged them, because, again, as I said, these months and these stars and these moons tell us how to behave, what to do on the Aina, the land. And so some of you have recognized that we've had a lot of rain recently, huh? Have you seen this? Isn't that beautiful? You know, when I was a kid coming down Nu'uhanu, used to have all the time, and sometimes the waterfall huli go upside down, fly up. For a long time now, though, we haven't seen that. There's been dryness, a drought, which is really kind of disconcerting. To see the rain come back again, it's just wonderful. Unfortunately, you know, we saw all these millions of people running up and down the street around us here. And we have millions of people come to Hawaii, and oftentimes they come during this time of Kaelo, when it's raining. And this is what I hear. Oh, you know, we came here to get the sun. Where's the rain? How come we got rain? I said, well, I also came to get green, right? A'ole rain, a'ole green. It's all about balance. And in that is a message, right? And the message is that sometimes those things that don't appear to be in sync are actually the things that need to be there in order for there to be synchronicity, things to happen in life, the ola, if you would. And our kopuna were able to capture these notions, these concepts in the Olelo no Eao, the Proverbs. And the one that I take inspiration from right now is this one. It says, Ue, ue, ue kalane. Ue, the cry. When the heavens weep, ola kahonua, the land lives, the earth lives. The tears of heaven feed the land. We eat. The aina is green. All is good. Ola. So for some, the rain, not so good. But tomorrow, perfect. Yeah? One day's blessing, another day's sorrow, another day's sorrow, another day's blessing. It's a matter of taking it in its wholeness and finding peace in there somewhere. And so we take guidance from these concepts and thoughts. And as I shared in one of the earlier services, it's acknowledging that there is a natural time and an artificial time in how we behave, so that we should not force our behavior on it, and recognize that it has its own thing. And how do we find peace with it? For instance, for those of you visiting Hawaii, Malihini, welcome. But I'll tell you, our kupuna had these stories. Now is not the time to go to the mountains. They knew this. Rainy, wet, the landslides, right? Don't want to be there. Dangerous. It also known as a time of cleansing. This is the time to cleanse. Not just physically here, but the mountains are cleansing. Everything that fell and died during the summer and fall is now being washed out to the ocean. The land is being cleansed and cleaned. Well, guess what? The cleanup crew is coming in the ocean to clean up that stuff. They're called mano, sharks. That's the natural time. They know it's their time to come in. And in the month of Kaelo is also the time for turtles to lay their eggs. Well, I don't know about you, but sharks know turtles taste pretty good. So this is the time for them to come and feed and do their jobs given to them by the Creator, the cleanup crew. And then we wonder why there's shark encounters out in the ocean. As our visitors come from elsewhere from the cold to get warm and go into the ocean and meet the cleanup crew. Artificial time and natural time. And so to find peace in that, we have to find respect for that, rather than trying to change it and blaming the sharks and the mano for doing exactly what they're naturally supposed to do. See, in that, we can find peace, in knowing that, yeah, I have to respect that place. As one kupuna told me, brother, when you enter the ocean, you're entering the food chain. Who's hungrier than the other? But nonetheless, it's about respect. And so here we are in the time of Kaelo as we enter. And I'm also reminded that it's not just the stars or the moon or nature that we turn to for direction and guidance, but also to our kupuna, our elders. And as it was said earlier, I had the good fortune of being mentored by multiple elders, as can be demonstrated by the long ear on this side that they pulled a lot, and the lumps on this side that they'll knuckle a lot. And so to the pull and the knuckle, I say mahalo, because hopefully they knock some sense into me, and I can share some of that with you. But today we honor 3 kupuna, wahine, women of wisdom. These kupuna, ku, the man, to stand up, puna, to be the source or resource. And these 3 kupuna wahine were instrumental in many of our lives, but in my life in particular. Her readings, her teachings, her writings, her songs, and her behavior of way of being. Namakaeha Lili'u Okalani, Queen Lili'u Okalani, the last reigning queen of Hawaii. You know, before there was Mandela, and before there was Gandhi, and before Martin Luther King, 3 great men of peace, there was a woman of peace. Namakaeha Lili'u Okalani. The peace that she displayed and demonstrated came not in times when things were good. Everything was going well. Yeah, let's party. Let me show you how to be peaceful. But it came at a time when her country was being taken from her. It came at a time when she was being imprisoned in her own home. And yet, she found it within her to write Aloha Oi. Not a song that says goodbye, but it says a song about ahui ho. How do we get back together? How do we live our lives focused on peace and aloha rather than anger, fear, and war? Yeah, those people could have gone to war if they wanted to, but I think because of Namakaeha Lili'u Okalani, we have the state of aloha. The place of giving and receiving. Not taking, unfortunately. And so it is through her demonstration and through the expression of aloha. And Reverend Gary said it in his meditation, the ha, the breath of life, the life-giving breath, that focus of energy. And in the word aloha, everyone say aloha. Alo, to be in the presence, to be in the face, to be connected, to be joined, to look at it. At what? The life-giving breath of divine. The life-gift breath is in each and every one of us. So when we say aloha, it's a commitment. You don't say aloha lightly when you say somebody, because if you cannot commit to the idea that when I say aloha, you're special for this 3 seconds, 3 minutes, 30 minutes, 3 hours, whatever it is, when I say aloha, if I can't make that commitment, just say hi. That's enough. Because there's really no commitment in hi. But aloha is a very spiritual, deep commitment. Okay? It's a powerful word. So when she says aloha, she means that not just then, it means now and through all time when we commit ourselves to aloha. And when you say aloha, you're committing yourself to peace. the power. So mahalo na makaeha kuin liliu o kalani. Now the two other wahine kupuna that were instrumental, Auntie Morna Nalamaku Simeona on my right. Nalamaku means bearer of the torch, torch bearer, carrying the light. Woman on our left, Auntie Pilahi Paki, of the Paki clan of Maui, keeper of Hawaii's secrets. And these two wahine kupuna were instrumental in helping to bring some hina to my ku. You know, ku, too tough. Gotta add some hina, like the teapot. Yeah. Bring some balance. And so these two wahine kupuna, Auntie Morna in particular, spoke to this notion of pono, to make right, not to fix bad, but to make right through a process of ho'oponopono. And it acknowledges that we're looking for preferred conditions rather than trying to fix bad ones. And in looking for the preferred, we operate from a different place, a different space, about making things better, not just trying to fix things that don't work for us. That's pono. And it is in that discussion of pono to say that when you are aligned with self, mind, body, and spirit, you become centered in self and a little less self-centered. And hopefully at that point, we also become connected with that thing greater than us. We become one with the one and therefore become one with all. This is pono. But you can't do that in the absence of aloha. And you certainly can't do it in the absence of peace. Right? And so when you are pono, you are mindful. And when you're not, you're mindless. You are out of your mind. So we try to get back to that. And ho'omaluhia, to make peace requires us to be mindful. Mahalo. Auntie Morna Nalamaku Simeona. Auntie Pilahi, on the other hand, was telling me many years ago, before she transitioned, she says, Mahalani, there will be a day when this planet, this island called Earth, will suffer and have illnesses of heart and spirit. That we will be in turmoil, and it will be the spirit of aloha that will bring the healing to this planet. And that aloha is going to come from Hawaii. I honestly believe we're in that time, or at least part of it, just by what's going on around us. And even more so now, as we enter this new time from 2015, that we focus on that peace, because there are too many out there trying to convince us of the other. So it's really important that we take responsibility, that we look inside, because the message of these two women to me was that whatever you see outside is a reflection of what's going on inside. And Auntie Morna said, if you want to heal the world and you want to take care of the pilikia, the problems outside, it's in this room. Primarily the room that you're in, called your body. The room that you live in. Clean that room and the room outside cleans up too. The world's problems are in this room. It's an inside job. We need to clean ourselves. We need to find that peace within. Because she subscribed to that proverb that says, when you see the splinter in someone else's eye, the log is in yours. And it took me a while to understand that, but I began to recognize that I cannot begin to see the pilikia, the problems, the things that bother me out there, unless that root or seed is in me somewhere. And Auntie Pilahi said the same thing. The seeds of thought watered by the emotions of heart, expressed on the life-giving breath, manifests whatever you're thinking and whatever you're feeling. So be careful what you say. Check your thoughts, check your feelings, because life-giving breath, words give life. Words take life. Okay. And so it is these two wahine kupuna who share this knowledge that is deeply founded, deeply seated and rooted in peace. Let me share this with you. This is the way of perspective. It's not so much how she said it, but bear with me. Repeat after me. What is it about me that allows me to see in you what bugs me? About you. Think about that. What is it about me that allows me to see you, whatever condition it is, whatever, sensual, the senses, what is it that I'm experiencing that is triggering something in me that I get so upset, bothered, whatever it is, when I'm around you or around it, around the condition. See, it's a very powerful concept because it puts it where? Back in here, right? That's very different than saying, what is it about you that bugs me? You know? Because there isn't one person that I've worked with over time. My students say, Kumu, I have a problem with her. I have a problem with him. I've got a problem with that. Yes, you do. You have a problem. And the common denominator in each of those statements is I. Yeah, I. And so ultimately, if you have a problem, where is the problem? Whoop, right here. So we have to be careful before we go like that. Make sure we don't like that. There's always some pointing back to us. And in the last, gathering, I shared this idea that I'm looking at this news article on the computer, and it's about these 2 dams of iron ore that broke, and people are drowning, and the ocean is being polluted down in Brazil, and I'm getting all upset. I said, this is a crime against nature. Look at what's going on with these people. It happened there. It happened in Colorado. All this, and as I'm getting upset, I also have to acknowledge that the iron ore in my computer is allowing me to express and see this. You hear that? I am as much of the problem as I am the solution. Because I am contributing to the need of that iron ore. So I have to be very careful before I go hell on people. You know? I have to find that peace with me. And as well, the point of letting go. When do I become the solution? When do I close the computer and say, mahalo, thank you. But I don't want to contribute to that anymore. The peace starts with me. I have to make the decision. Each of us has to. That's what this is all about. Look in before we look out. Yeah. Unfortunately, we live in a world that tells us, look out, watch out. Everything's out. Well, guess what? If we keep subscribing to that notion, we are victims when we wait for the externalities of the world to change in order for us to be safe. When somebody else has to be better before I can be better, I'm a victim to them and that. So these ladies, these wisdom keepers are saying to us, maluhia. Everyone say maluhia. Maluhia. Maluhia, to find peace. The word peace, maluhia, it talks about this calmness, this stillness, like this reflecting lake. Wow, to be able to look at that. Its definition is peace, quiet, stillness, tranquility, serenity. It's all of these things. The Hawaiian word is aka. Aka is a shadow. It is a mirror. And what these kupuna are telling me is that, when people around you, they're mirrors of you. We have to mahalo them, thank them for reminding us who we are. So when you get angry, you may be angry at them, but remember, they're triggering something in you. And so the object is, how do I mahalo the mirror, the aka? And that is what this is, to find peace in the mirror. And so the maluhia, the word maluhia is rooted in energy. Hawaiian language is an elemental language. And so Auntie Pillai is talking and she's saying, follow the root. So the root word in maluhia is malu. Say malu. Malu means shade or cover. Like the hen that covers her chicks with her wings and gives them shade. For those seeking comfort of the shade of a tree when it's hot outside, that's malu. But malu also means to protect, as in a shield, to stand behind the shield. To malu, to take cover. When you're lost and when you're in fear, that's malu. To take comfort. And that's an inside. To find that thing inside. That's the word ma. Everyone say ma. Ma. Say, put your left hand out and say ma. Ma. That's passive, soft, feminine. Hina. Put your right hand out and say na. Na. Yeah, na is masculine. Na is plus. Na is active. So ma is passive. Na is active. Put your hands together, what do you get? Mana. Mana, the balance of up and down, right and left, in and out, soft and hard, masculine and feminine. Yeah? It's these two energies that we have to find balance in, not separate. It's not ma without na or na without ma, but it's the two, finding the way to balance the tension between these two so it rolls. Because if there's too much ma, flat tire, car don't go no place. Too much na, the car bump. So you have to have the balance between the two. That's much like peace. Interesting enough, those of us that are experiencing peace now are experiencing peace because someone else isn't. Someone's paying for that peace. And somehow we have to find a way to thank them and be appreciative of the fact that the peace that I'm experiencing now is really the root of someone else's discord somewhere else. How do we find the manna to let go, to ask for forgiveness, and to extend to others so that we can enjoy our peace? How much of it are you willing to let go for someone else to enjoy their peace? A powerful concept. We have to think about that. That's balance. And another way to describe it, manna is like the ice cube. Water or ice. Same thing. One hard, one soft. Like us, angry or happy. They all go together. They're the same thing. I heard a comedian answer their question, is the glass half full or half empty? He said, it depends if you're drinking or you're pouring. Perspective, right? So you can either be very hard about things or very hina, whichever you want to be. But at some point in time, it's finding balance between what's hard and what's soft. That's manna, the balance of manna. So let's make some manna, okay? Everybody go. Ready? One more time. 2 times. Faster. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're just too kind. You're just wonderful. It's just so... Now, the next word in this, malu, alu. Alu means to be combined, to work together, joined. Like in paddling the canoe. If you don't work together, the canoe doesn't go anyplace. So there has to be focus, and there needs to be a place that we're all going together. You have to work together. But in the break, we were talking, Levin and I, and it reminded me that there's another way of looking at alu, come together. This place called Hawaii. How many of you heard the statement that Hawaii is a melting pot? Yeah, I've heard that all the time. But you know when I think about melting pot, all I see is gray. You know, everything comes in and all the colors, everything blends together. It's just gray. So what really is Hawaii? For me, Hawaii is beef stew. Stew pot. You get some beef, you get tomatoes, potatoes, peas, carrots, celery, all kinds of stuff, and throw them together. Right? Little salt, little pepper, put that flavor in it. And at the end of the day, it comes down to this gravy. Right? Hawaii is beef stew. It's a place where you don't have to give up your identity to enjoy the flavor of community. The flavor of our community is a gravy. It's what we share with one another. It's the blending that I give some of you, you give to me, we give back and forth. It's giving and receiving. This is aloha. Hawaii is beef stew. Yeah. Yeah, mahalo. Now I'm hungry. I don't want to stand between people with their food, so I'll hurry up. But what I'm saying is, it's recognizing that it's the blend. It's not the separation. And the beef stew can be there because of peace. They can exist, coexist together, co-create, work together to provide nutrition. Now, the next word is lu. But in Hawaiian, as I was telling you, there's double meanings. So if you say lu by itself, the word lu means to discard, to cut, to separate, as in the chaff from the wheat. But when you add a second word to it, lulu. Lulu actually means calm, buoyant, peaceful. Just like that otter. Look at his face. Can you imagine just floating around like that? Completely open to all possibilities and opportunities? To float in calmness and relax. That's Lulu. That's the term Honolulu, the calm bay that we call our place, yeah? To relax in the open. Wow. And no more shocks too. Lulu. The extension, ma-lu-hia. Luhi. Hia-lu. Luhia. Luhi. One side of the word luhi, when you say ma-luhi, luhi, someone is sick, they're upset. How are you? Awe noho ma-luhi luhi au. Awe noho aloha inu. Hopefully you feel better. Yeah? Luhi luhi au. But when you huli and you turn it and you give some positive energy to luhi, it's like this taking care of the baby. It's the father, it's the adult, it's the parent caring for and guiding and protecting and housing, caring for and giving cover to their children. Before she transitioned, Auntie Morna says, Mahalani, go take care of the children. Go teach the children. And I was thinking, the elementary school kids? She goes, no, the children. The 6-year-old and the 60-year-old. The 9-year-old and the 90-year-old. Each of us has a child that needs protection and caring. And for that child to stand in his or her power, as Reverend Jack said last week, to find that place of expectancy, to stand in power, there needs to be peace. And to give that child peace so that they can stand and evolve and arrive, that's ho'omalohia. That's lui. Last concept, I'm going to say hia. Hia is desire. It is also glee when you're happy. Oh, you smile with desire and happiness. But more importantly, this idea of hia is I desire it so much, like the last breath. I've held myself underwater for so long that when I pop out, you just have to have that breath. Without it, you die. That's the level that we have to have of hia. Because I'll tell you, if you're not here, you owe there. Explain that to our guests who are coming in. Right? Hia is to have the desire for life, the desire for peace, so much so that I'm willing to leave the comfort of my fear and enter that faith of peace. Because my fear is founded in faith that the worst thing's going to happen. You cannot have fear without faith. Think about that. Right? So all I have to do is refocus my faith and find peace in that. That's our message from our kupuna. Yeah? To make that peace happen, not wait for it to happen. Ho'omalohia. And so the word ho'o in front of this, ho'o means to do, to act, to combine, as one of the 5th things that was said by Levitt earlier in these belief systems. You got to act, you got to do something. So ho'o means to do, combine. So now what we do is we take malu, hia, lulu, put them all together, and we make peace. Ho'omalohia. Just like this. If the lion and the sheep can lay together, what's the problem? Right? Why can't we step beyond this? So our concept today, our thought is, with love, in this time of peace, what do we do to demonstrate to others, to offer peace to others, to find that peace within us and make it an inside job? To leave here today focused on making peace and not just looking for it. Yeah. These last 2 images speak it all. This fisherman standing there looking to feed his family, he's got his net, and he sees a big fish and he goes, oh, I think I can catch that. I think that would be a good meal. We all know no one's eating if all he thinks about, right? What does he have to do? He's got to act. He's got to cast that net. And in today's world, sometimes we have to cast the net a little wider and a little farther. Because it ain't as easy as it was before. But we have faith that whatever nutrition is there for us, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, will be there. So we don't think ourselves into new ways of behaving, but we act ourselves into new ways of thinking. So, Reverend Gary Levitt, Reverend Jack, mahalo for inviting me here today to share some mana'oanike with you. And I ask you now, though, to please do not just let those words end up as thoughts, something you think about, but something that will stimulate action to go and do and create peace in your life and be the light for someone else who hasn't found it yet. Yeah? Let us pray. E pulikako, peace be with you, all my peace. The peace that is I, the peace that is I am, the peace that is now and forever and evermore. My peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not the world's peace, but only my peace, the peace of I. O kamaluhia no me oi ku maluhia a pauloa. Kamaluhia o ka I o au no kamaluhia. Kamaluhia no na apau no ke ea va amau maulo aku. Haawi aku au I ku maluhia ia oi. Waiho aku au I ku maluhia me oi. A ole kamaluhia a ka kamaluhia vale no. Kamaluhia o ka I. I mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. O kamaluhia no me oi, peace be with you. Until we see you again, Merry Christmas. Aloha ahui ho. Malama pono.